They said I was a madman, and they were damn right. Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Kavalech, and let's grab ourselves a deadly chat. Yes, indeed, welcome back to In-Depth Bloodborne. Today we are rocking the Madman set, just because we got it, and I thought it's the only one we haven't shown off, so respect the drip, and all the times to use it. I think it's a good time now, especially since it looks fucking mental, and we're going in to fight a fucking mental fucking lunatic. When we last left off, we were travelling through the Nightmare Frontier, or no, sorry, not the Nightmare of Mensis, and we had made it up to Murgo's loft base. No, middle. We did the base. This is the middle. So yeah, let us go in here. And today is going to have a mix of both lots of lore and also boss fight and also content. So fun, and more fun. Let's go.
Cause. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers? No, we shall not abandon the dream. No one can catch us. No one can stop us now.
Or some say Cosm, Miklash, host of the Nightmare. So, a lot of people ask why, when he dies, does the place not shut down or whatever. By host, I think this is a translation thing. I would say it's more host as in... there it is. Interesting that we can't get through here. By host, I would say more in the line of, also, let's have some of these bad boys ready. I'm going to try and show something. Try my best. But yeah, he is certainly an interesting sort anyway. But by host, I think it's a translation thing. I would say more host as in, you know, when you're hosting a party, you might not always necessarily own the venue, but you are the host of the party, if you will. That's all you want to do to get him into here, by the way. This is already phase 1 done. Done and dusted. This is the easy part. So you bring him in here, and he's going to do pretty much fuck all. You want to kill these guys first. And then the only move he's going to use here is the Augur of Abritus. No, is it the Augur of Abritus? Yeah. That move, which, as you can see, does do damage, good damage, but it's not exactly that fucking bad. And sometimes he'll try and punch you. He'll do a lot of things, to be honest, but fighting is not really one of them. So you can kind of just stick back and beat the shit out of him. If he hits you, oh well, get back in there and hit him again. Especially if you have something like this on where I'm not taking a lot of... oh, piss off. I'm not taking a lot of whatchamacallit damage, arcane damage from him, which is nice. He will sometimes get in a loop where he does it loads, which is a pain, but... oh, piss off! Fucking swear to God I rolled into it that time. That was my own fault. This is the worst way to do this. I have possibly shown the actual worst way of doing this in the world. But that's the first phase done. Done and dusted. Shouldn't have been that fucking complicated, but yeah.
Oh, majestic! A hunter is a hunter even in a dream. But alas, not too fast. The nightmare swirls and churns unending.
A hunter is a hunter even in a dream. We've heard similar sentiment before. To me, that just means, you know, oh, even here. Hold on.
Some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers?
Okay, shut the fuck up again. So Hunter's a Hunter even in a dream, to me, means a few things. So if you think about it, when people tend to enter the dream in this area, or nightmare, or whatever the fuck, sometimes they get twisted into different things, different forms.
As you once did for the vacuous realm.
Oh?
Grant us eyes. Grant us eyes.
There's our proof, by the way, that... oh, and a moon thing for farming, if you want. There's our proof, by the way, Vacuous Rom has indeed transcended to become Vacuous Rom, was not always Vacuous Rom. So somebody who successfully transcended. More sedatives. Yeah, I'm not getting this point across about the Hunters, am I? Yeah, that's the same, Granticize. And yes, Rom has a lot of fucking eyes, so that is indeed a correct statement. Ooh, lots of blood wells, nice. So do you know what, that actually worked out well, because now we have loads of healing items. But yeah, Hunter is a Hunter even in a dream. So even here as we are now, we are still fulfilling our contract. We're still a Hunter, we're still hunting him down. Even here, even after all of this, we're still fulfilling our promise as a Hunter, if you will. No, it's not here. No, we want him to jump through the window. Yeah, that's fine. Jumping through the mirror is good. A lot of people hate this fight. It's a little bit fiddly, I'm not going to lie. But realistically, it's not actually the worst. Another bloodstone chunk, which is nice. This is down to where you will need to... We need to get him in here, basically.
Oh, of course.
Some say Cosm. This works out really well for us because, or some say Cosm, because we are looking for him to be there. Yeah, so immediately we've already won. I will show, by the way, you can, unless they've patched this, if you just slowly hit him with some of these, we're not going to do this, but if you... Did he run off? Oh yeah, I forgot they did patch this, didn't they? Shit. Okay, well that's my own fault. There used to be a thing where you could throw knives at him from there, and it would cause him to basically just go into a loop, and you could poison him. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to fucking run after him a bit more. But yeah, cause, or some say Cosm. So, this is another reason why I wanted to leave the DLC till around now, because basically, Iron Door Key, very nice. Because basically the thing that he's talking about there, the entity cause, that he's calling out to for help here. Oh fuck, came back, bollocks. Oh well, we can get it again, it's fine. In fact, now it should be easier to get it, because he'll run the wrong way, apparently. I've never really seen him run this way, shit. Now. Whoop. Now, he is now trapped in the room. He is ready for the final battle. You can also, by the way, if you run fast enough there, you can get into the room with him so you don't have to go around. There's multiple ways, basically, you can do this. We are apparently just going to do it the fucking straight up way. Just fuck us, apparently. But, yeah. He's beckoning to Cause or Cosm to help him. Oh fuck!
Of course.
He was saying more.
Sit about and speak feverishly, chatting into the wee hours of new ideas of the behind
I'm gonna see if I can get him to do that dialogue again. Actually, hopefully I can. But yeah. So he's beckoning to this creature to try and help and stuff like that. But as we're going to learn in the DLC, I don't know if that's the best of ideas, because, well, Cause or Cosm may not be around anymore to help.
of course.
Right, let's see what he says here.
Some say Cosm hear our prayers as you once did for the vacuous Rome. Grant us eyes, grant eyes on our brains to cleanse our beastly idiocy. The grand lake of Rome, hidden now from sight. The cosmos, of course. Let us sit about and speak feverishly, chatting into the wee hours of new ideas at the higher plane.
So I let that play there just to get that across. So yeah, he's calling for this cause, and it kind of confused me because I thought they were beckoning the moon, and I think they are beckoning the moon. But I think he, in this moment here, is calling for cause to try and help him because he feels that the moon isn't fully beckoned yet. Oh bollocks! Oh, we survived. We're okay. Huh? Interesting. Oh come on! Fuck off. Yeah, he's obviously feeling that the moon isn't working out, so if we instead ask Cos or Cosm, as he once did for Vacuous Rom, might be able to help us, and then I can win this fight and beckon the moon and then transcend and be amazing. But as we'll learn in the DLC, that's probably not going to be the case. He gave us a really nice fight, actually. So now for the best dialogue in the game. Fuck. For the best dialogue in the game. Prey slaughtered. Nothing but prey, Mikolash. What's interesting about that is that we know for a fact that he will not in fact wake up because his body in the real world is dead. He obviously doesn't know that. Our head is clipping through that. Interesting. But yeah, he believes now he's going to wake up into the waking world and he'll forget everything from the dream. So that's also very interesting. So now we know that potentially if you're dispatched of within a dream or something like that, you'll forget everything that happened within it. Assumedly, if you wake yourself up, you remember everything. But if you're removed forcibly, then you forget. But he doesn't even have an opportunity for that because he's just dead. Fuck him. Yeah, so he was beckoning to Cos to try and help him out there. But as we learn in the DLC, and I probably shouldn't have tried to be saying it during the fight because I was clearly not able to articulate anything properly. But as we'll learn in the DLC, that won't be the case because Cos is no more. The School of Menses controls the unseen village. So, proof there that everything going on in Yarhagul and everything is because of the School of Menses. This hexagonal iron cage suggests their strange ways. The cage is a device that restrains the will of the self, allowing one to see the profane world for what it is. It also serves as an antenna that facilitates contact with the Great Ones of the dream. But to an observer, the iron cage appears to be precisely what delivered them to their harrowing nightmare. And yeah, when we looked at the bodies and stuff like that in and around the areas of the game, when we saw the bodies sitting on the chairs, some of them children, by the way, we tended to kind of look at them and go, oh, they're punished, or they're being kept there against their will. Not the case at all. Also, we got an iron door key, didn't we? Yeah, iron door key. Of the three great bridges that link the two cathedral cradles, this key opens the iron door that leads to the mid-level bridge. There is no thieves in the nightmare. Then why lock the door? Be warned, there must be a very, very good reason. And you can see actually the handle of the key has an eye in it, which is, I think, really cool. The eye of Mensis, the brain of Mensis. Yeah. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. So a lot of kind of interesting stuff there. That fight shouldn't have taken 15 fucking minutes, I'm not gonna lie, but I wanted to get some of the lore across, and I wanted to kind of yeah, there's a few things basically I wanted to do there, and so I did. And so I did. Yeah, now that door is actually back in the first area that we fought Mikolash in, but we don't want to go that way just yet because you'll get fucked up by the brain, so it's not worth it, my little Cherokees. It's not worth it at all. We're not going to be finishing this area, but we'll certainly start this area because we can get some cool stuff. We got more of these things. That has also triggered a few more things to happen in the real world, so we'll go and deal with them now in a moment as well. We've got 12 more blood chunks though, so even in the base game, you can get a lot of fucking chunks. I'm not even going to look that way. That is the way to go. That's a shortcut. We're going to come this way. This will lead down to before the Mikalash fight, but we don't want to do that. We want to jump out now. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to land it. I never land that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I always fucking miss. So I'm glad I got it. Yeah. So this is an important little section here. A very important section, actually. So we get another inflicted organ, which we'll need for the whatchamacallits. But then these guys are here, which is obviously a little bit more of an important thing going on. And we're dead. Yep. Yeah. We're dead. We're dead. Yeah. I fucking hate these guys. I should just stick on my best frenzy resistance, to be honest. And in fact, I might just do that just to fucking do it because fucking hell. The best way to deal with them, realistically, is just to have something that will stagger them. And unfortunately, this doesn't. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, wow, one frenzy resist. Yeah, no, fucking hell. Like, that's just not going to happen. Our best frenzy resist is apparently going to be her set. Yeah, I think so. Which is interesting. No. Apparently, it's going to be a mix mash. Again, so as always in Bloodborne, if you want the best of something, you got to it's 26. You got to mix and match armor. Always interesting. And you know what? I'm actually very much okay with this look as well. That's a cool look. Yeah. If you want the best of defenses in Bloodborne, mix and matching is the best of ideas. Doesn't mean that you can't use full sets, but unfortunately, it's sometimes not the best. Now I got to do this again, and I did it once, and I didn't think I was gonna fucking do it. So now having to do it a second time is a little harrowing, because I nailed it the first time. Wouldn't mind, I had my sedatives ready, but I fucking fucked it. You can see it from here, and now its eyes are all aglow. Bitch. Fucking... Oh! Oh. It is so very apparent to me that you can very much tell what enemies I tend to not fight on a regular basis. Like, I know so much about this game, and I know all the different things. I know the secrets and the lore and the fucking bits and bobs, but there are just sections of this game. I did it twice in a row. Holy shit. Woo! There are sections of this game that I just tend not to fucking deal with because they're a fucking nightmare. These bitches being one of them. Got it. And sedatives, because that will keep going. Woo! And you know what? She was nice enough to drop me a cursed gem, so we'll let her away with it. We'll let her away with it. For now. In cold blood. This is actually where you can come. If you're just running through the game, she won't always drop one for you. But if you're just running through the game and you want a... whatchamacallit, and you want a... cursed gem, in this little section here is one of the only... Am I dead again? Please tell me I'm not dead again. I am dead again, aren't I? Heal. I just got that fucking heal off. Holy fuck. That was nearly another death. Fuck you, my guy. Die. Thank you. And set them. Woo! I don't know. Okay, you drop another gem. But this here is a Tempering Damp Blood gem. It is a great gem to just pick up at any point. You know. And actually, it's not even it's just a tempering one. So that's actually just an 18% up gem. It's not even cursed, so it doesn't have any downsides. So if you just need a really good gem and you're just running through the game as fast as you can, that's always there. Weapon durability down is not great, but 90% up is not bad. So that's actually pretty good. Health gradually depletes -8 is not great. So that might not be too bad though. We'll see. We'll see how bad it is. Like, what's the weapon durability on this? I feel like that might actually be a really good gem. But anyway, that is not all that is on this bridge. Well, it is all that's on this bridge, actually. I think we picked up all the items. Yeah, I tend to just run, though, because fucking hell. Again, I just really am not great with the Winter Lanterns, clearly. But something that we need to discuss is the fact that if you look at them, they're the doll. Like, I think I said this when we first found them, but it needs to be said again. They're the doll. So it brings to question, are the Winter Lanterns looking like the doll because it's the memories of the hunters who interacted with the doll, and so it became part of the nightmare and twisted into this fucked up form? Or did the doll come from the Winter Lanterns and Gurman created the doll to look like them? And the answer is neither. Well, not neither. The answer is definitely leaning more towards, not leaning more towards, is that the Winter Lanterns look like that because of the doll. Because we will find out exactly why the doll looks like the doll and where the doll came from in the DLC. So for now, nothing. But when we first played the game, that was the question when we first played the game. When the game first came out, that was the question we all had. These bowl cut looking motherfuckers are exactly what I was talking about with the Patches spider. So Patches is very much like these guys, healing church members or monks or whatever you want to call them, who dedicate themselves and in a way transcended, a bit like Vacuous Rom, but not the same, didn't become as powerful, became these spider-like creatures, which you can see as, well, a bad thing really. But someone like Patches, he managed to keep his sanity, unlike these ones who are just crazy and don't talk and just kill you instead. you know how it is. You know how it is. But this is the most important thing, which is down here under this section, because once we pull this, well, we'll see what happens. You can actually see there, underneath, you can actually see what we're about to do. Which is drop this fucking thing. Fucking horrendous looking. And catch the eyeballs on it. Now we'll get a closer look at it later, but you can see the eyeballs on it. But that is now, the area is now clear in terms of if you haven't gotten everything, you can go and explore and get anything you need, because that is gone. Let's pop down here. Another Winter Lantern. But yeah, in case you were thinking anything, if you look, yeah, you can see it even has our hands and everything. Like, it is the doll, but with a fucked up head. You know? It is indeed the doll, just with a fucked up head. Oh, for fuck's sake! What is with me today? Get off me, you fucking bitch. If I get grabbed again, I swear I didn't. Okay. We're okay, we're safe, we're safe, we're safe. I got another gem. Better be a fucking good one. I swear to fucking God. How long does that last? Enough! Fuck, that would have... Oh, I think it stopped, but still. Fucking hell. Anyway, what was that one that we got? Attack versus Beast down. Only 9.3 though. That's another really good one. Interesting. Anyway. The Choir Bell. Choir Bell. Special hunter tool of the choir, high-ranking members of the church, fashioned after a bell that projects an arcane sound across planes of existence. The sound of this smaller silver version of the bell does not cross planes, but grants vigor and healing to all cooperators. Basically, it heals anybody you might be playing with online. What I find interesting is that, and it's something we haven't really spoken about either, but the the Bell Maidens, the Thumerian Bell Maidens, and of course all of the different bells that you can get and stuff like that. By the way, you can see where we are. We are above the spider room. The Thumerian Bell Maiden and stuff, just straight up tell you, like we discussed it way back in episode 2 or whatever when we summoned Gascoigne, but there is time travel, I guess, in a way, in a sense, within this game. And I think that is a lot of what the Chalice dungeons are. We might see more of that as we explore them, but the Chalice dungeons are indeed you traveling into different parts of, I suppose, time, history, dimensions, whatever you want to say. And it is all of the madmen who are doing the rituals down there that are attempting to hide the Chalice demons, the Chalice dungeons even, not demons, dungeons. We're getting Great One's wisdom, by the way, which we need to read. Yeah, they're attempting to hide the dungeons, and I think they're doing a rather good fucking job of it as well. This is further proof in my mind, by the way, that these are all calcified people that probably got killed by the brain of Mensis, if we're completely honest. Especially since everywhere seems to have all of these spikes and everything sticking out of them. And then down here is the door that leads to the Micolash boss room. I honestly think this is a pointless door because realistically you're never going to want to go back in this way. And we've now gotten everything that we want. Well, not everything, but we nearly got everything that we want from here. And coming at it from this angle means you got to deal with the brain. So unless you just want to run through here and not kill the brain and instead just run through here and get the item, you're realistically going to want to not go through there. More eyeballs and everything down here. You can see down there's an item. And I'll break my legs to go and get it. Blood rock. Very good. So we've actually picked up a couple of things there to look at. So first of all, Great One of Wisdoms. Fragments, I can't fucking talk. Fragments of the lost wisdom of the Great One's beings that might be described as gods. Very interesting to note that. Might be described as gods. We've been calling them gods and Great Ones and all this type of thing. They're just higher beings, doesn't necessarily mean they're gods. At Bergenworth, Master Willem had an epiphany. We're thinking on the basest of planes. What we need are more eyes. Eyes obviously being one of the main symbols of the fucking game, if we're completely honest. Does the blood rock have... It does actually, yeah, it does. Huh, interesting. A large chunk that forms in cold blood. After death, a substance in the blood hardens. Interesting. Says here, after death, some substances crystallize, most simply harden and form bloodstones. This one says, after death, a substance in the blood hardens, and that which does not crystallize is called a bloodstone. This is no mere chunk, it is nearly a boulder. A few bloodstones of such size have ever been discovered, even considering the combined experiences of all the hunters. That is not as true since the DLC, because the DLC added in the blood rock. But yeah, in the main game, apart from going into the Chalice dungeons, you were getting one blood rock per cycle. Some people think that's not enough. I think you're greedy. I don't know why I'm going that way. I don't want to go that way. I want to go down here. I think you're being fucking greedy. You greedy guts. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, you want to come down here now because we dropped the brain. And after dropping the brain, now you can see one of those delectable little lifts has opened up. Where are we going? Just allowing the atmosphere to hold for a second there because this section is so fucking cool. So a bit like Dark Souls 1 Abyss, this is just a black void of fucking nothing basically. Hello. Hear the heartbeat kind of sound. Horrendous looking. It's completely harmless now, it doesn't do anything. Before we do anything else to it, we've spent the whole game with people trying to do rituals and all these different things to contact greater ones, we now have something that in a way could be considered a great one. Let's see if we can make contact. Figuring this out for the first time when the game first came out was one of those schoolground whispers. And it was one of those things, I won't lie, the first time I did it, I went, I don't know if this is real, this seems like a lot of bullshit to me. But the more you wait, the more you realize that you're slowly being absorbed into its vision, finding yourself leaning ever closer to the screen. The madness pounding in your brain. Whispers surreptitiously telling you of unknowing, unwanted truth. Boom. The third moon rune. Fucking cool. Cool as fuck. Such a cool secret. Not needed for any trophies or anything else. But cool nonetheless. Anyway, you can see there that it's slightly open. Slightly more. Bing! A transcription of Moon as spoken by the Great Ones inhabiting the Nightmare. The Great Ones that inhabit the Nightmare are sympathetic in spirit and often answered upon when called. And we did call them. We did indeed call them. I remember as well the first time I decided to try and kill it as well, and I went, oh, seems to take a lot of fucking damage, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But you know, this is 100% what you're meant to do. We apparently don't do a lot of fucking damage. I wonder, actually, hold on. Let's see. So this does, in a full string, this does 586, and in a full string this does. Now obviously this is fully maxed out, but it's just interesting to see the difference. Holy shit. And then what about transformed? You can see how even not upgraded fully, it holds its own. It is a good fucking weapon. I just like the speed of this one more. But the Holy Blade is a very strong weapon if you're looking for a good weapon. And goodbye. Got myself a walking, talking, living string. Special material used in the Holy Chalice ritual. The immense brain that Mensis retrieved from the nightmare was indeed lined with eyes on the inside, but they were of an evil sort, and the brain itself was terribly rotten. But even still, it was a legitimate great one, and left a relic, a living relic, at that, which is a precious thing indeed. So, to me, I'm like, they had clearly been doing this a while. They've been trying their best to try and get different great ones and stuff. They got that one, and I managed to even capture it and put it in the tower, but realized that it was indeed evil, I suppose, and cursed, and so left it in the tower and used it as a defense mechanism. But we're assumedly experimenting on it and stuff like that as well to try and use its power for other means. Would have been so fucking good. Would have been so good to have him here. Yeah, so we're going to get our Rider Palash up to max now. Because we can. Because you can. Bam! Look at that. Fucking hell, the damage. And then we're going to stick some gems in it. Because, again, because we can. So first of all, these ones are... and they're not great, to be honest. But let's see these ones. So that's attack versus kin down. That's actually probably why I was doing less damage to him, funnily enough, because he's a kin enemy. So I was probably doing less to him than I should have, which is quite funny. Tempering. So this one is just a straight upgrade, which is nice. These ones would be nice. And in fact, I think this one with the weapon durability down, fuck it. That one is health gradually depleting, so we don't want that. It is good, but health gradually depleting is not on my list of things that I will agree with in life. Attack versus beasts down as well. It's not enough of an upgrade for me to be like, yeah, let's go with that. So that'll do for now. We'll repair Ludwig's Holy Blade as well. And then we will swap you out for the best version of you, because why not? You're the best version of you that we have at the moment. And I think the max health is probably the best thing that we have, to be completely honest. We're doing well. We haven't got any new ones of these yet in a while, so that's alright. I know we did get another claw mark, but it was, you know, it's the same thing, so we're fine with that. Now, we are going into the Hunter's Nightmare, so we need the... yeah, Impurity Rune, because we need some vermin, so... Unfortunately, we don't have our thing, but that's okay. That's okay, don't worry about it. We can now buy Living String, by the way, as well. And that should be all the new stuff we can buy, yeah. I will buy some fire paper, though, because we're going to need some, to be completely honest. That'll do, I think, for now, donkey. The rest we will spend on... Welcome home, good hunter. She likes to fall asleep a lot at the moment, doesn't she? I mean, we're still getting upgrades for this, so we may as well get some more skill.
Farewell.
And then spend the rest on delicious things here. 16 more of these. Nothing new we can buy here. Nothing beats a Jetsu holiday. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so now finally we have, what, 25 minutes or so left. We can head... Oh yeah, well, we've got to see what's happening here in Cathedral Ward, because as I said, we've got some shit going down. But killing Mikolash is the Kickstarter for this final little section here now. Oh, she's gone.
Was it a beast? Oh.
He's still talking about Thingy. Anybody know? Well, she's dead, unfortunately. Do you know what happened?
Boss.
I see through your lies, yeah. And what about you? No, he also seems to have gone a bit mad. So, what then? There seems to be blood trailing in this direction, by the way, if you look. You can see on the ground there's blood trailing off this way. So, did she get attacked and dragged off this way? Oh.
It can't be. This is a nightmare.
Yeah. Any type of damage will do this, but we'll just do this. Oh, we'll miss apparently. And killing her, unfortunately, causes a death. But a third umbilical cord, so that is 3 of 3 that we have. Now, 2 things. 1, shoes worn by Ariana, woman of the night of Cathedral Ward. Innocent and cute in contrast with its owner. Completely pointless, but I have been holding this, and a couple of people guessed it, a couple of people didn't. If you guessed it, fair play to you. If you didn't, finely tailored Bordeaux dress worn by the nobles of the old bloodline that traces back to forsaken Castle Canehurst. Some people say, oh, is it just that she took it from somebody? No. I think that she was indeed of noble blood, but was probably surreptitiously brought out of the castle, or, you know, hidden. She was a hidden child, basically. And it would explain why she had special blood and why she was chosen by, assumedly, Erden, because we're in Erden Chapel, to bear a child of a Great One. Technically successfully, you know. Yeah, so this is the one we just picked up. We read the other two, but this is the one we just picked up. So it says all the same stuff. This precursor to the umbilical cord. Every Great One loses a child and yearns for a surrogate, and Erden, the formless Great One, is no different. To think it was corrupted blood that began this eldritch liaison. So yeah, just proving that was Erden's baby. And corrupted blood also proving the point, because we know obviously the vile bloods, it was corrupted blood.
Is it a beast?
So, and no, nobody will have anything to say about that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the story there. A lady of the night who was probably brought up with nothing because they were brought out of Canehurst and hidden away, most likely to try and maybe protect their lineage, or maybe to, who knows? Who really knows what was going on there, but interesting nonetheless. Way long ago, we got the eye of a blood-drunk hunter. Its pupil collapsed and turned to mush, indicating the onset of the scourge of beasts. A hunter who goes drunk with blood is said to be taken by the nightmare, destined to wander forever and engaged in endless hunt. Is a fate no hunter can escape. I thought I actually mentioned this thing around here, but it doesn't. But if we are to go over here, get ourselves gobbled up by this gentleman.
Cursed fiends, their children too. And their children forever true.
Oh, curse the fiends, their children true, and their children, and their children's children, and their children's children's children's, and fuck their mamas, and fuck their cousins, and just fuck them all, basically. So what was that about? Oh, we're just back to here. Hunter's Nightmare, but wait, what? That's different. He's not here. What is going on? Well, welcome to the DLC, folks. Yes, indeed, we are starting the DLC today. How about exciting? Yes, so we know that Nightmare is kind of our twisted, warped version of things, and we have obviously been whisked away to a nightmare before, so we know that they're pretty fucked. But what has this nightmare got in store for us? Well, let's go and indeed find out. Oh. Well, things look definitely different out here anyway. Frenzied Cold-Blood 8. Remember, you can come here as early as you want. Well, not as early as you want. As soon as you kill Vicar Amelia, you can come in here. Get yourself some Twin Bloods if you need it. But yeah, this DLC, I mean, it's hailed as one of the best DLCs of all time. And to be honest, I can fully see why. It's truly spectacular. And hopefully we can show off why. There it is. Fuck's sake, I know I'd get it eventually. Hopefully we can show off why, because yeah, this place is great. This place is great. Old Hunter's Cap. Oh my. Old Hunter's Cap with a wide brim that hides their sharp gaze. In the old days when hunters were a 10 a penny, this was part of the standard garb. So that is your first clue and your first hint that we are in a warped version of the past. Yeah, not very subtle, to be honest. But yet, still some people don't realize that. There are still some people that go, yeah, but what is it? It's just a fucked up version. Yeah, it is. It's a fucked up version of the real world, and it's a nightmare, but it's the reliving of the past. They are stuck in this stone. These are hunters of the time. Why did they attack us? Well, most likely they believe us to be beasts. They see everything as beasts, to be honest. Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one sooner or later. Old Hunter's Gloves. Wonder what this says. Old hunter gauntlets made of brass to protect weapon-bearing hands. At the time, some hunters believed that certain metals would ward off beast blood. On the night of the hunt, it is no wonder that some would resort to superstition. So very superstitious. Writings on the wall. No. So, yeah, we're learning now about the hunters being rather superstitious about things. And that's the thing in real life. There was a time when a lot of kind of diseases and stuff, people would go, oh, if you just used like nickel, it would dry out the fucking blood and this and that. And there's a lot of... people have a lot of strange fucking ideas about things, let's be honest. You know? Yeah. Now, this guy we want to draw out and fight because it'd be a pain in the fucking ass. Here he is. We're actually doing a fair amount of damage because we've got a fully upgraded weapon. Completely honest, that's good. We want him to fight them guys. There we go. And then we can use that to our advantage. And there's another hunter? Yeah, another hunter is alive. Oh god. Basically, you can do a lot of using the chaos to there it is, to do the work for you. There's a lot of that you can do here, which I love. I love being able to use chaos and enemies fighting each other and everything to do the job. He is fucking people up over here. Woo! Boom hammer. I also love this because they show you a lot of weapons here that you're like, whoa, they're fucking cool. And we're gonna get to use all of them. But we probably won't. But we'll try and use some of them anyway. Note that these guys seem to be afraid of us even when we don't have flame out. So they're not just fearing us because of fire. They just appear to fear hunters overall. Hunters, it would appear at this time, were a lot more formidable maybe than they are nowadays. Hunters getting kind of fucked up in our timeline. just a little bit fucked up in our timeline. Well, not our timeline, but in our world, in our time. You know. But nevertheless, still fucking kick some ass. As you can see, they're giving you a ton of healing items, which is nice. But most places are locked off. This being a dream, a nightmare, well, nightmare, dream, nightmare, as I say, it's interchangeable. This being a nightmare, it is most likely because things are just twisted around and everything. You know. Worst thing in the... oh, fuck. Don't just say, remember, always shoot the fucking dogs. But yeah, if you're having trouble, always shoot the dogs. Always and forever, shoot the fucking dogs. Twin bloods. They're also giving you twin blood shards. So yeah, if you come here directly after Vicar Amelia, like obviously it's going to be more difficult, but it's not too bad. And they also give you a ton of twin blood shards, so you can get a weapon upgraded a nice amount, which is pretty good. So that's why I didn't do it, because you can very much come here and without even having to fight an enemy, you can bolster so many weapons and get a load of shit together and be like, yeah, I'm fucking ready to go. The DLC, in my way, in some ways, if you know what you're doing, in some ways, unfortunately, the DLC can slightly break the progression of Bloodborne. And I say slightly, it can very much fuck up the progression of Bloodborne, but is that a bad thing? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. This guy. It's so refreshing coming here, I'm not gonna lie, with a fully maxed out weapon. Wow. Now this isn't gonna last because this DLC gets fucking hard, but it's nice. It's so nice to be able to fuck things up. I'm so used to being fucked up by everything in this DLC, so it's nice to be able to fuck things up for once. I'm going the wrong way. I need to... Why is my brain not engaged? How the fuck do I get over there again? Oh yeah, you drop down from here. Yeah. Drop down, plunge down from the plank, if you will. Like that. Now, the hunters with the red eyes are the ones we want to fight mainly because, well, we'll see. Hunters with the red eyes are like this guy. Hunter with the red eyes are important because the hunters with the red eyes, with our little thing that we popped on, will give us something to look with. Ow, or they'll kill us. Either one. Ooh. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. That was fucking stupid of me. I should have just killed him. Hey, vermin. There's our first vermin. So, we need this for dialogue anyway, so, you know, rather nice. The Beast Cutter, there's our first weapon of the DLC. And Blood Vial. Because, yeah, why not? But let's go down here and kill these fuckers, and then get a thing. And yes, this is a trap if you press it. Let's see if there's a gun there. I'm just gonna try and use the gun against the dog, but yes, the gun's there. Hup. Now, what did we pick up? Well, we picked up a vermin, which, if you remember, it was the man in the forest with the bucket on his head wanted us to find vermin. A centipede-like creature discovered by successful hunts by the League hunters. Vermin found hidden within filth are only seen by the League Confederates and are a root of man's impurity. The League has assumed the task of finding and crushing all vermin. Perhaps there is some mercy in the madness. Those who wish to see vermin can, and those who choose to are provided with boundless purpose. Yeah, so basically, the red eyes, I mean, it's funny, centipedes seem to be used a lot in FromSoftware games, and I didn't realize it for the longest time. I think it's a Japanese thing. I don't really know. I think the Japanese view them as some type of thing, because they're used in a lot of... could it also be a Chinese thing? Actually, I think I'm not 100% sure, because it's also in Chinese mythology as well. I will admit to being slightly ignorant there. And do you know what? Actually, in between episodes now, I'm going to go and look and see exactly what the purpose is. But it seems to be used a lot, and especially when it comes to transcending and becoming godlike or gaining immortality. The centipede is used a lot, and it also is always to do with corruption within that. So obviously we know a lot of the hunters are trying to transcend the hunt and trying to become stronger and immortal and all this type of thing, and clearly they're doing it, and they're being corrupted by something, tainted blood or whatever the likes, but it is causing these centipede things. Now, this is very interesting. Look at them straps on that leg. Oh, old hunter trousers that protected countless hunters from the beasts in an older age. A widespread belief of the period was that the beast blood crept up the right leg, and this led to the double-wrapped belt. So they believed that if they wrapped their leg like that, they could prevent the blood. Now, who do we know that only has one leg? Did German chop his leg off because he felt he was going to turn into a beast? Certainly a way to look at him. Did he just lose it in a fight? Probably. But I find it interesting to think of him purposely doing it to prevent turning into a beast, which is very interesting. And the old hunter's garb. We've got all the old hunter stuff now. Next episode we'll wear it. Old hunter garb. One day the hunters disappeared and Yharnamites began to whisper of the hunter's sin. Drunk with blood chasing after beasts, they would pass on to the nightmare, every last one of them. So there is something that I was kind of curious would anybody bring up. And funnily enough, nobody did and nobody has. But it is actually something that I myself thought of throughout the game of Bloodborne. We fight a lot of people. Most of them are either gone completely insane or they've turned into beasts. Apart from German and Eileen, who is the hunter of hunters, keep in mind that she doesn't hunt beasts, pretty much don't see any hunters in the main game. Which, for a city that is supposed to be all about By the way, this enemy is so fucking cool when you see this. For a city that's all supposed to be all about hunters, why the fuck are there not really many hunters in the city? And somebody said, oh, you know, you have Alfred and stuff. Alfred is not a hunter. Alfred is part of the Executioners, which were a special band. Whoa! What the fuck is happening? Ow. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh well. There it is. Those guys are fucking cool looking. Wow. But yeah, Alfred was part of the Executioners, which were a special band that were made to fight the Valbloods. So yeah, we pretty much don't really find any hunters in the main game. And this DLC was made to tell you why. And I find that fucking fascinating. I think it's brilliant. And it's another reason why the DLC is so great, because it's separate and has its own continuity, and well, not continuity, it has its own story, but it also wraps up a load of the stuff in the base game as well, which I fucking love. Anyway, I wonder, is Vicar Amelia home? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. No, I'm sorry. So, here's the thing. If you remember way back when we killed Vicar Amelia, I told you to look at the skull. That looks very similar, but there is differences, and we will talk about that when we do the Chalice dungeons more, but here's the spoiler. This DLC somewhat retconned Lawrence's fate, so it was pretty much assumed. Everybody knew Lawrence was going to turn into a beast of some sort. But in the base game, before the DLC came out, there was a beast in the Chalice dungeons that has the exact same scar as the skull on Vicar Amelia's thing that we interact with, and that is Lawrence's skull, 100%. So that was the original intent. It was nowhere was it said that was Lawrence, and it didn't, you know, there was no item that said, oh, Lawrence went into the Chalice dungeons and went mad. No, that never happened. But come on, like, it was the same scar and everything. That was the original intent. But because they left it ambiguous enough, when they got around to making the DLC, they decided, no, we're going to change it. We're going to put Lawrence here. We're going to make him a cleric beast, because obviously he was a cleric, and so it makes sense. Clerics become one of the most crazy beasts. We're going to fucking make him go crazy. But they never changed the skull on Amelia's thing, so now we have the skull that technically, I mean, it sort of matches, but it doesn't really match. And we still have this beast in the Chalice dungeons that just has Lawrence's skull. But again, what's great about Bloodborne is that because Bloodborne is so fucking mad, and there's so many weird things and dreams and nightmares and fucking mental stuff, that it still works. It's just a product of the nightmare and madness. End of. I really always thought this guy was going to pop up and try and kill us, but alas, not yet. It is instead just an eye pendant for now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. An eye pendant which unlocks the surgery altar. There are two cathedrals in the Hunter's Dream. One lies past the River of Blood, and another contains the private research hall of the Healing Church. Only chosen members of the Healing Church or their lamentable patients can enter the research hall using the eye. Grant eyes to the surgery altar skull. Grant us eyes. Oh, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. That is going to do it for this episode, unfortunately. I know. But a nice little touch that we are starting the DLC. And how exciting. And we got some good little lore pieces there and stuff like that to start off with. So, very exciting. And I'll leave you with one of my favorite views of Bloodborne, which is this view here. So tomorrow we shall continue our sexcapade. You heard me. Oh, look at it. Yeah, we got to get over to the Grand Cathedral itself. Or rather, this cathedral. Because this is the Grand Cathedral, but this is also the Grand Cathedral. And as it said in the dream, there are two Grand Cathedrals. So we got to get over to that one. But this is the clock tower that we know all too well from the main game. So yeah. So for now, I've been Kavalech. You've been amazing. Hope you grabbed yourself a deadly chat. Next episode, we shall continue. Oh, and the bell goes off as well. Oh, fuck yeah. Next episode, we shall continue into the Hunter's Nightmare. And have a great time. And that, by the way, proves my point, by the way, because this is the Hunter's Nightmare. And yet, it says here, There are two cathedrals in the hunter's dreams. So dreams and nightmares are very much used interchangeably. Let me know if you have anything you want to know, but there's going to be lots more told in the next episode, and we can see some fucking liquors down there. Look after yourselves, grab something nice, grab something tasty, do some fucking wonderful stuff, play some fun video games. I'll be back. Try again. I'll be back tomorrow with more Bloodborne, and we're going to kick some ass tomorrow. There'll be lots of content, because, well, if you know the game, you know exactly what's to come, including a big-ass boss fight. See you all then. One of my favorite bosses. Bye.